wake up one morning, swing your legs out of bed, and as your feet touch the cold floor, something feels wrong. You look down, and for a second, you don't even recognize your own ankles. They look puffy, soft, almost like someone filled them with water overnight. You press your finger into the skin, and a small dent stays there, staring back at you like a warning sign. Your heart instantly jumps into your throat. You start thinking about your heart. You think about heart failure, fluid backing up, something dangerous ticking inside your chest without you knowing. You imagine calling your daughter, or maybe rushing to the emergency room. But here's the truth that might surprise you more than the swelling itself. After 60, swollen ankles are rarely a heart problem. And holding on to that fear, that might actually be more dangerous than the swelling ever was. Let me stop you right here, because this is where most people get trapped in a cycle of worry that lasts for months, even years. Every time your ankles swell, you feel that same panic. You start monitoring your body like it's a crime scene. You avoid salt, you drink less water, you prop your feet up every night, and still, the swelling comes and goes like it has a mind of its own. But what if I told you that most of what you believe about ankle swelling after 60 is not just incomplete, it's completely backwards? What if the real cause has nothing to do with your heart and everything to do with a hidden mechanism in your body that almost no one talks about? A mechanism that, once you understand it, doesn't just explain the swelling, it gives you a roadmap to make it disappear, often without a single new medication. If you find this kind of real, life-changing information valuable, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Dr. Victor Lang, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see your own body forever. Think back to the last time you flew on an airplane, or sat through a long car ride, or even spent an afternoon gardening in the heat. Did your ankles feel tighter afterward? Did your shoes feel like they shrank? Most people blame gravity, and they're not wrong, but they're also not seeing the full picture. Gravity pulls fluid down, yes, but your body has an incredible system designed to push that fluid back up. It's called the venous return system, and it relies on something you probably never think about: your calf muscles. Every time you walk, every time you flex your foot, your calves squeeze the deep veins in your legs, creating a pumping action that sends blood and lymph fluid back toward your heart. After 60, those calf muscles lose strength without you even noticing. They become lazy, soft, and inefficient. And when your calf pump fails, fluid has nowhere to go except down, straight into your ankles. This is not a heart failure story. This is a muscle failure story, and that changes everything. But here's where the story takes a darker turn, because when your ankles swell, and you don't know this truth, you naturally start resting more. You sit longer, you move less. You tell yourself you're being careful, protecting your heart, taking it easy. And that gentle, well-intentioned rest, it makes your calf muscles even weaker. The swelling gets worse, so you rest even more. A vicious, silent cycle begins, one that can slowly steal your mobility over the course of just a few years. I've seen people in my clinic who started with occasional puffy ankles after 60, and within 2 years, they could barely walk to the mailbox. Not because their heart gave out, but because their leg muscles forgot how to pump. Their bodies still had plenty of strength, plenty of life left, but the fluid had effectively weighted them down like anchors. And the tragedy is, no one ever told them the truth. No one ever said, stop resting, start moving. No one ever explained that the swelling itself was begging them to walk, not to sit. Now, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine your circulatory system as a river. When the river flows fast, everything stays clean and level. But when the river slows down, sediment drops to the bottom. That sediment is fluid, and your ankles are the bottom of the river. But here's what's fascinating and a little scary. That stagnant fluid doesn't just sit there looking ugly. It actually changes the tissue around it. It creates inflammation. It breaks down the elasticity of your skin. It puts pressure on tiny nerve endings, which is why some people also feel a strange tingling or aching along with the puffiness. Over time, that chronic swelling can lead to a condition called stasis dermatitis, where the skin on your lower legs becomes brown, thick, and fragile. It can crack open, form ulcers, and become incredibly difficult to heal. So that innocent-looking puffiness in the morning, it's not just cosmetic. It's a physical signal from your body that the river has slowed down, and if you don't get it moving again, the damage becomes permanent. And here's the shocking part. Doctors often miss this because they're so focused on ruling out heart problems. They run an echocardiogram, they check your BNP levels, They tell you your heart looks fine, and then they shrug and say, just elevate your legs. But elevation is a bandage, not a cure. It moves the fluid temporarily while you're lying down, but the moment you stand up, gravity wins again. The real cure is not in how high you lift your feet. It's in how much you use the muscles inside your legs. There is one hidden cause that most people over 60 never even consider, and it might be the most emotional one of all. Loss of muscle mass, medically called sarcopenia, starts accelerating after 60. You lose about 3 to 5% of your muscle mass every single decade after 30, but after 60, that rate can double if you're sedentary. And here's the heartbreaking part. You don't have to become a bodybuilder to stop it. You don't need to join a gym or buy expensive equipment. The simple, repetitive act of lifting your heels while standing, what exercise scientists call calf raises, performed for just a few minutes a day, can restore that calf pump function faster than almost anything else. I've watched people reverse years of chronic ankle swelling in less than 3 weeks just by committing to 100 heel raises every morning while they brush their teeth. No medication, no compression stockings that roll down and dig into their skin. Just movement. Just reminding their calves that they still have a job to do. But most people never hear this because it doesn't sell pills, and it doesn't require a specialist. It's too simple. And that simplicity is exactly why so many people suffer for so long. Let me tell you about something that might keep you up tonight if you've been ignoring swollen ankles. The fluid that pools in your ankles is not just water. It's a mixture of water, electrolytes, and proteins that have leaked out of your tiny blood vessels called capillaries. When those capillaries become lazy, either from age or from inactivity, they start leaking more than they should. And here's the scary part. That leaked fluid doesn't just disappear when you elevate your legs. Some of it gets reabsorbed, but some of it stays in the spaces between your cells, slowly stretching the tissue, damaging the delicate valves inside your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is like your body's second circulatory system, a network of tiny vessels that cleans up waste and fluid. And once those lymphatic valves get stretched from chronic swelling, they don't snap back. That's why some people develop something called lymphedema, a permanent, irreversible swelling that can make your leg look like an elephant's limb. This is not fear-mongering. This is what happens when you treat swelling as an annoyance instead of an emergency signal. The window to reverse it is not forever, and that window starts closing the moment you decide to ignore it. Now I want you to pause and think about someone you love, maybe a parent, a spouse, or even yourself. Think about what it feels like to look down at your own body and see something unfamiliar, something swollen, something that feels out of your control. That feeling is not just physical. It's deeply emotional. It makes you feel old before your time. It makes you feel fragile. It makes you avoid wearing shorts, or going to the beach, or walking around your neighborhood because you're embarrassed. But here's the truth I want to plant inside your heart. Your ankles are not betraying you. They are communicating with you. They are saying, please move me. Please contract these muscles. Please don't let me become still. The most compassionate thing you can do for your aging body is to stop fearing the swelling and start respecting what it's asking for. And what it's asking for is so simple that it almost feels like a trick. Walk for 10 minutes after every meal. That's it. 3 short walks a day. That single habit has been shown in clinical studies to reduce lower leg swelling by over 40% in older adults, without any other changes to diet or medication. 10 minutes. After breakfast, after lunch, after dinner. That's the difference between a body that slowly sinks into stagnation and a body that keeps flowing like a river. Before we go any further, I need you to understand something that might feel uncomfortable. Not all ankle swelling is harmless. There are rare cases where swelling is caused by a blood clot, a kidney problem, or a medication side effect. But those cases come with other signs. A blood clot usually causes pain, warmth, and redness in just one leg. Kidney problems often come with puffiness around your eyes first, not just your ankles. And medication-related swelling from drugs like ibuprofen, steroids, or certain blood pressure pills usually starts suddenly after you begin a new prescription. If any of those sound like you, please see a doctor. But for the vast majority of people over 60 who wake up with puffy ankles that get better with movement and worse with sitting, the answer is not more fear. The answer is more steps, more heel raises, more conscious, deliberate movement woven into every single hour of your day. You don't need to run a marathon. You just need to stop being a statue. So here is where you make a decision. You can close this video and go back to propping your feet on a pillow every night, watching the swelling come back every morning, living in that quiet cycle of worry and resignation. Or you can do something different. Tomorrow morning when you wake up and see those ankles, don't panic. Instead, stand up. Lift your heels off the ground 10 times, then walk to the kitchen and back. Then do it again after lunch, and again after dinner. Do this for 7 days. I promise you, by the end of that week, you will see a difference not just in your ankles, but in how you feel about your own body. You will realize that you are not broken. You are not declining. You have simply forgotten to use a system that still works perfectly, a system that is waiting for you to wake it back up. That feeling of taking control, of understanding the hidden language of your own body, is one of the most powerful feelings in the world, and it belongs to you, right now, no matter how old you are. If this video opened your eyes to something new about your health, something that no one else ever explained to you, please do something for me. Go down to the comments and write the word movement. Just that one word, because when you do, you're not just leaving a comment. You're telling everyone else who watches this that they're not alone, that there is a community of people over 60 who are choosing strength over fear, who are choosing to understand their bodies instead of being afraid of them. And if you know someone who wakes up with swollen ankles and worries about their heart every single day, share this video with them. Send it in a text. Post it on your page. Because that person might be sitting in a chair right now, resting, making the problem worse. And your one share could be the thing that finally gets them to stand up and walk. This is Dr. Victor Lang, and I want you to remember this feeling long after the video ends. Your body is not your enemy. The swelling is not your enemy. The only enemy is sitting still while your body begs you to move. So go ahead, lift your heels right now, just once. That's how it starts. That's how everything changes.